Good morning, folks. I've had slight technical challenges getting started today. So if you can hear me, see me, everything looks good, please put the thumbs up or something in the chat to let me know that you got me and that I have got you. It is Wednesday and I'm checking all the tech, just like hoping it's working. And I sound funny. I don't feel like myself, but yeah, here we are. And just because I like sound like a 40 plus year smoker, it's still no excuse for not getting to my regular live stream. So, hey, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to get to work after the stream, which is my normal habit and routine. This is my accountability lever, right? Come here and chat with all these folks who are super motivated, who are doing the good work. And then, I mean, what else could I do but finish this live stream and then get stuff done? You basically like surround yourself with people who are just getting after it. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I better go and get to it. Checking the chat, I want to welcome and say hey to Wanderer and Wanderer, who her name is Julie and she is in Canada. And I'm just going to call you Julie because it is so much easier to pronounce than your YouTube channel name. But Julie, welcome. Julie's talking about getting into the MIGA spreadsheet for next month. And I'm super thrilled about that. As I was saying in the chat before we started, that it's open to everybody. It doesn't cost anything. And but I do want to mention though that like the MIGA group is not about motivation. Like I'm not going in there and being like, get the work done and like trying to make you do the work. It's about surrounding yourself with people who are doing the work. And then by just association, you feel more motivated to get that stuff done. But if you get in there and you're not already somewhat motivated and taking steps to make it happen, it's not going to work. And you see people who go into the group and put their names in and they put in a goal and then they never update it again. Like never. And I appreciate the enthusiasm and you know getting excited about getting in there, but ultimately it's the reason my Facebook group for MIGA like never took off, because lots of people joined it, which was awesome, but a lot of people were lurking, which is again all right. But then you know people would post like, well, if you would do more in this group, maybe we would feel more motivated to work. I'm like, people, this is like the opposite of what it is that I'm trying to create here. So yeah, it's not a like a motivational like group. If you need motivation like to get to work, I'm not the guru for that. I am not Arnold Schwarzenegger like telling you to get out there and lift more weights. Like that's not what it is. Checking else who welcoming. Sorry, I just like side tangent there. I'm looking at the time and I was also looking at YouTube before I got started, and it looks like we're going up against Doug Cunnington this morning. He is like streaming in my time slot. Like, hello everybody, doesn't everybody know that Wednesdays at this time is mine? It's all right. If folks want to watch Doug, it's cool. I will probably end up catching his stream on the replay later. And folks who watched Doug and came over here for the replay, you're still welcome. Just let me know that you were here. Put something in the comments. I'm excited always when folks are here, and especially when you update me on your progress for what it is that you are working on. I'm saying hey to Keith. He was here in the chat earlier. I'm scrolling down. Keith is his income report video is out this morning. Keith is doing something really similar to what I'm doing, which is trying to grow a site to, I think, $1,000 a month. Well, mine is, I'm trying to get there in 12 months, but who knows? Folks may get there quicker than I do. Oh, and Keith's starting a newsletter, which I also think is a great idea for either your brand or for sites or anything. So way to jump out on that. There is Margaret. What is going on, Margaret? It is a pleasure as always to have you. Margaret is basically one of the most motivated, hardworking people that's out there. She does it quietly. So I just can't help but shout you out because I just think you're amazing. Keith is talking about Chris had a great interview with Adam. He's talking about the Niche Website Builders podcast. Chris was on there the other day. And I actually just listened to it this morning. And I was telling Chris that usually I listen to podcasts on either 1.5 or even 2 speed, just, you know, because I can. And the accents in the beginning of it threw me. I literally had to stop what I was doing and wait for my brain to adjust so that I could actually understand what was being said. I almost I was driving my car. I almost pulled over to turn down the speed just so I could understand what was happening. But I got it, and it turned out really well, and I enjoyed it. There's Anthony, our friend Tortoise Cashflow. That was another income report that I listened to this morning. Anthony had another $1,000 month, and I believe that you have a site listed for sale over on Flippa, which I would love to know if that has moved at all or what's going on with that. There is Eric Everman. What is going on? Welcome. There's Adrian. Hello. There's Phil. Phil, I was checking out Phil's. He doesn't do YouTube. He does a blog for his income reports, and Phil crossed 100,000 page views a month. And I basically like go and just try to do everything Phil does because I want what Phil has. People are talking about loving Vancouver. I honestly have not been there, but I've heard many great things about it. Anthony says, I'll stay here. Doug can wait. Yeah, I will be catching Doug's later. Keith, you know what? When you do good work, shout outs are easy and they are earned. Adrian is giving us some updates, which I always appreciate. That's Phil. Believe it or not. That's our Phil. That's right. Now you know his last name. Adrian says that he got display ads on the MIGA site, doing well at $15 EPMV, which is awesome. Hopefully it will just grow in the next couple of weeks. That's what I found was when I initially put it on. I was not that excited, but then over time it got better and better and better. The Phil who drank too much in the sun yesterday, I will allow Phil to speak on that. I will not, I will not feel, compelled. He says, I went a bit crazy, but kept it offline. That's probably like the best. So I've got, as always, a whole list. It's so washed out with the light. I doubt you could see any of that. But I did want to just let people know that there will be no live stream next week. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to take a couple of days off, like full on off. So it just happens to be that one of those is the live stream day. And I apologize, but I got to do it. I don't think I've missed a Wednesday, honestly, definitely not since last year. It's been a long time since I have not been here. So I just wanted to put that out there. There will be no stream next week. Talking about the Google update, who here has seen positive or negative from the update? I will speak for myself. I'd love it if people went into the chat or in the comments. If you catch the replay, what are you seeing as a result of the recent core update? For me, honestly, the only thing I'm really seeing is an improvement in CLS, which I know was part of this deal. But I was talking in my last update video for the MIGA site about how I couldn't figure out the CLS on mobile. Like there was nothing that we could do to fix it. And I was like, all right, this month is the month that I'm going to fix it. And then the core update rolled out and basically almost within a day that has gone from red to yellow. And I know that, yellow is still not green, but at least it's still not red. And as long as I can stay out of the red, then I feel pretty good. I feel less motivated to really get after those things. If I'm green, like green and green and one yellow or, mostly green, like I feel all right. But I would love to know if anybody else is having any sort of impact as far as traffic, because for me, like things look pretty steady. Phil says, a good interview, Chris. I listened to it this morning. If that doesn't explain to someone what they need to do to build a site that makes some money, I don't know what will. And then Chris is like, I had better go re-listen to that. What did I say? Oh, this is the reminder, guys. If you're here, smash the like button. I don't know if it actually does anything except make me feel nice. So please do that. Phil says he saw a Loch Ness monster. What were you drinking? Seriously, I would like to know. Anthony says that his main site is going up and down, as you saw in my report. Kind of weird, but overall it's slightly up. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing some bouncing up and down, but mostly I'm just looking at the overall trend, and the overall trend is not really dramatically going one way or another. Back in May, I definitely had one site that had some pretty major negative impacts, and I haven't gotten back to it. I haven't even looked at it because I can pretty much only focus on the site that I am working on. Eric says that he has to leave in a bit, catch the replay. You're welcome to come and go, friend. The replay will still be here. We will still be here. Margaret says that traffic is very spiky. Yeah. Anybody else, if they have something just like to contribute on that, I really think that just assembling as much data as possible within the group can help us. Julie says, no change, 6-week old blog and views still growing, $6 in 6 weeks from Google Ads. Hey, I'm pretty sure that my initial attempts at making money with sites, I didn't make money for months, and I think I would have been thrilled to make $6 in 6 weeks back in the beginning. Heck, even now with a 6-week old site, I still think I would be thrilled to earn $6. So I think that's great. There is Sue. What is going on, Sue? I haven't seen you in the MIGA group lately, and so I was just hoping that everything was okay, and that a couple weeks ago, last week, you were out in the sun in the garden, and I just hope you're still being able to do that. Keith said his main site looks down slightly, but could just be normal. Yes. And not sure, to be honest, my other sites look okay so far. Awesome. The next thing I wanted to do is some shout outs for the MIGA group. The folks that are in there, I've been so proud of what folks are doing. Patrick, who has been kind of a lurker. And Patrick, I don't know if you catch these live streams, but Patrick joined like in January and actually made some YouTube videos, and then just really struggled to make some changes in his life to like get to posting content. And in the last like 6 weeks, the guy is like made some major changes and went from really struggling to get 1 or 2 posts done a month, and is now like on track actually creating regular and consistent content, like one of the better producers in the group and more consistent. And I'm just so thrilled. And I can basically play and accept no praise for that, because that was all Patrick just making the changes that needed to be made. And so Patrick, sir, good on you, man. I'm so proud of you, and I love seeing you make progress. I also wanted to shout Sabina out. She is not here. She did leave me a really sweet comment after the stream last week, because she was here live and then turned around and watched it again. She's like, I just really needed this. And I just really commend her for getting out there and just watching her in the MIGA group, growing with the amount of content that she is able to produce. And we talked about other ways to get experience, and she's doing some freelancing now. And it's really a joy to watch people really grow and then start to gain some confidence. And there's definitely fewer questions that come up, right? I mean, there's always questions, but then you see people starting to take action without this as much anxiety, right? Like should I do this or should I do this? And then really getting in there and just making moves on their own is such a pleasure. Like, it is such a pleasure to watch people work. Adrian, who's here, is always, I don't want to say always, but is so consistent every month and appreciates being in the group. And I appreciate Adrian. Jasper is in the group, and we've been following along with Jasper Saga about dealing with updates, and he's basically been hyper focused on interlinking. And I'm basically watching this like super close, because if interlinking solves the mystery of the update site, then I would love to see that. And then Jay-Z, who cannot catch the live streams because he is in Australia and he's currently asleep. John, if you're watching this on the replay, thanks for dropping in. And John's experience is what will segue me into my next section. Is John is one of those guys who's like, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to figure it out on the way, and I'm going to work really hard. And he's created something valuable, even though there's been a lot of like, well, is this going to work or not? But he was really consistent and stuck with it, and I'm super proud of him. And some of the things that he does might not be things that I do, right? But that makes me want to transition into Alex's video that he posted either today or yesterday about selling best root box. And in that, he just goes through, what his last update video. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the link to the video is in the description of this video. But I watched it, and one of the things that he posted in there was actually a snippet, a snip, or a clip, or a screenshot of a Reddit post where some people were, talking about him and saying, that he sucks, or, saying negative things. And it was just such a so refreshing to have him, one, acknowledge that happened, and then two, acknowledge that even somebody with 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, like that stuff, like still like it kind of bothers him because but I don't have this hard shell of a YouTube influencer, and it's just to acknowledge that still gets people, because for me it's absolutely true. Like I was in a group not too long ago where somebody just kind of in a cavalier manner was like, I never trust YouTubers and what they say. I just assume they all Photoshop their screenshots, and I took offense to that. Like, not a big offense, but just a small amount offense, that it made me less desirous of sharing my progress in the group, because I felt like, okay, there's people here who are just set up automatically to think that YouTubers aren't being honest. And I I wouldn't even occur to me. First of all, I don't even know how to Photoshop those things. Like I don't even know how I would do that. But then, just to realize and remember that when we're here online, that so many people, because we're so skeptical, right, that there's so many people here are just ready to jump on the content that you create with the assumption that you're trying to pull one over on them. And I know there's a reason for this because people do this, but I don't. And so to be lumped in with these folks it's really hard. And then especially when people are like, oh, like so and so sucks, and I'm like, well, how often do you see somebody who is majorly successful, like spending time in forums and threads, like to beat up on other people? Like, no, they got stuff to do. Who's got time for this? So I just wanted to shout out Alex and just highlight a couple of the things that he said in his video. And one, he talked about how he still managed to sell a site for $70,000 despite breaking many of the very established guru rules. So you say, oh, like this guy, he does everything wrong and don't follow him and all the things. Like, well, he still sold a site for 70,000, and there's not a lot of people who can say that. And so I guess it just reminds me, because and then just to shout that for to forward that or to apply that to a lot of beginners who are like, I have so much stress about doing it perfect, and if I don't do it perfect, my site will never grow. And it's like, well, Alex grew a site and sold it for $70,000, breaking all kinds of rules that the gurus say not to do. He wrote product focused content, and he had an exact match domain, and he used a page builder. And these are all things that people are telling you not to do. And guess what? He still made it work. So when people are like, oh, like this or that, or, what's the best? I'm like, taking action is ultimately the best. And maybe this site would have been bigger, right? Maybe it would have been a 6-figure sale or whatever, but still you can still make something successful by making mistakes. And I mean, pointing to like culprit number one of making mistakes and still managing to grow things, like that's me. So I was thinking about that. I start a lot of times I start my Wednesdays by like catching up on income reports and things and getting ready for the stream, like getting pumped up, and watching income reports helps me do that. Plus I'm just ready to, talk to my friends in the chat who posted those income reports, because I enjoy them and I love seeing people's progress. But you can make things work while still not being perfect. And I know there are some folks who are lurking in this or catch this on the replay who need to hear this. It does not have to be perfect to be successful. It just doesn't. Check into the chat. Sue says she's doing all right, just doing a lot more mug designs for Alex. Lots of brain fog, so writing has been tricky, but it sounds like action is happening, so well done. Phil says that he likes Alex's site case study. He's about as transparent as it can get. Yeah, absolutely. He's showing basically the inside of everything that he's doing, and you can judge all you want, but the proof, what do they say? The proof is in the pudding. Speaking of pudding, where's Carl and what is he cooking? Because I feel like I should start calling this live stream, What's Carl Cooking? Because the day that Carl came in and started talking about Yorkshire pudding or whatever these like circle bread things are, I probably had the best live stream that I had maybe in months. And it all had to do, what was corn broadband cooking? Let's see. Chris says, haters gonna hate. That's right. Tortoise Cash Flow says, people are just jealous. That's right. That's what I'm gonna think. Phil says that he spotted another YouTuber we know sold one of their sites on Motion Invest yesterday. I saw that Fix posted a community post mentioning that he sold a site. I don't know if that was Fix. He asked in the poll if I wanted a video on it, and I was like, yes, of course. People are jealous. Let's see. Phil says, oh, he sold Cyber Athletics. Interesting. I did not know that Fix was planning on selling Cyber Athletics. And in fact, I thought that was the one where he was going to like hang on to it forever because that like he's a physical therapist and like gaming and stuff. So I am really curious to hear that played out. Interesting. Cyrus says, and hey, Cyrus, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. He says, I just started learning about the blogging world. I want to start this on the side doing my full-time job. How many hours a week do you guys work on your blog? Yeah, to the chat, everybody. There's 17 people, supposedly, if we are to believe YouTube. How many hours a week do you work on your blog? For me, it varies. Some weeks I don't work any hours at all because I have kids and I do the kid stuff. And then some weeks I will put in 30 to 40 hours. So I guess in a month's time, it's probably like 80 to 100 hours a month total, just spread out like wherever I can fit it in. But I don't have a full-time job. So Philip says, you can make it all happen with an hour to 2 hours a day. I agree on that. I think that if you can get at least a couple of posts a week done, you can make something that will grow. But if you want to do it yourself without investing in money, the more time you can put in, the better. But if you are outsourcing your content and you're good at that and comfortable with it, then you don't have to put in necessarily as much time. But I really think that folks in the beginning, especially when they're like brand new, really should focus on putting in the time and the learning. Cyrus says 2 to 4 hours a day as a beginner. If you could put in 2 to 4 hours a day as a beginner for that first year, it would be insane how much money, not how much money, how much you would learn. And I hope the money would follow, but the learning is like the really tough part. God. Oh my goodness. Chris said, this just in, I just received my official AdThrive invite. My friend, congratulations. That is so awesome. I am so proud of you. I'm excited for you. That is awesome. He said they were stringing him along for 2 weeks and it was like up in the air. Was it going to happen or not? But this is so awesome. Oh my God. My children stole my harmonica. I don't even know where it is. It's not in there. All right. Well, let's just pretend I blew it because I don't know where it's at. That's what I'll do. I'll pat myself on the back for you because you're in Canada and I can't pat you on the back. There is Sabina. Sabina, you made it. And I already shouted you out earlier in the stream. So you will have to go back and watch the replay because I said, hey, and I was wondering where you were and here you are. So that is awesome. The next thing I wanted to mention, because you can see it on my list I have here. It says, what's Carl cooking? I'm going to shout out Jeff. Jeff is not here. Jeff is almost always here. And so Jeff, I'm hoping that you'll be catching this on the replay. I am hoping that you are working. And if not, then I hope you figure out whatever it is you need to do to get back to work. I had planned to mention the Niche Website Builders podcast because Chris went on there and I actually had a great time talking to Adam because I did the interview for the podcast last week. And basically, for folks who decide that they want to interview me for YouTube or podcast, pretty much every one of them, it goes super long because for some reason, whenever I get onto one of these things, like I just can't stop talking. And so we recorded for like 90 minutes. It was literally like almost a 3-hour experience. But I just wanted to shout out Adam for having me on and also to mention that he will be here on the live stream in 2 weeks. And I just think their story is really cool. I didn't realize that their business was so young. They started it in 2019, and I'm super excited to talk to them more and learn more about what they're doing. And also just have fun chatting with somebody who seems really cool. Like it was nice just talking with somebody who was a cool guy who's in a similar place, like has this business and has a family and is trying to make it all work and build a portfolio. And it was really fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in 2 weeks, and I will be putting a post out on the community page on the main site to just ask like a call for questions. But again, mostly it's just coffee and shooting the breeze. And you'll notice I don't have my coffee mug today because I made coffee and I drank it, and then now it's gone, and I didn't make enough coffee for the day, and so I'm super bummed about that I did not have enough coffee. All right. So the next thing I wanted to mention, I keep getting people in the comments of my videos asking me, especially on the income reports. Like, I think it's YouTube is pushing, like slightly pushing my month 5 MIGA report to people. And so they are seeing in there that I have access to Ezoic through Access Now. And the folks in the community who are around and know this know that at the beginning of June, for small websites, Ezoic is now open for people, basically any site that can qualify, regardless of traffic. And so that is open. The link to Access Now is in the description of this video, but ultimately there's no window anymore. It's like, I think going to be open in perpetuity. So people are like, oh, is it too late or whatever else? Like, no, you can still go. And I mean, I don't know if your site will get approved, but again, just for the people who are new to this community, who maybe got in through my recent update video, it's open. Use anybody's link like to get there. It doesn't matter which YouTuber or publisher that you're using, that will get you there. Like, get it done. I wanted to mention, because I hopefully like Chris is still here. But Chris, I think, teased this in one of his recent videos about starting a site in July, kind of along with me. And I have mentioned in the stream that I'm planning on starting a new site in July. And so we are talking about doing like a battle. Like, we haven't decided what to call it. And that's the reason that I wanted to bring this up, is because it needs a name. The MIGA sites, these were named by this community, as people in the chat giving us the name for making the internet great again. And so this showdown, like, it's going to be sort of a case study, but we're going to, I don't want to say do it together because it's not the same site. We're going to do our own sites and basically just have like a friendly competition. It's going to be throttled so that we don't like destroy our other stuff just trying to win this, but I think it will be fun, but it needs a name. And I don't know, like, to call it like a battle or, you know, the niche site like showdown. Like, I need folks in the chat and also on the replay. Like, I need some brainstorming help. You know, I think of something similar, like simple, like, you know, the niche site battle or niche site showdown, or we don't really have like a race, like Chris has the race to a specific place. So we're not going to really race. We were trying to figure out like how we would crown a winner. And so we have been talking about like the metrics that we're going to use to crown a winner, and then kind of figuring out, you know, could we do like progress wins, like you know, like stages. And I don't know, it's been really fun to talk to him about, because it's not like I need the motivation to start a new site, because I was planning on it anyway, but it's fun to do it with someone else. And the other reason, you know, aside from trying to come up with a name, is also to bring it up there maybe in the future if other people want to do something similar. Just, I think it will make good content. What I'm seeing though, there's blog battles. So I always cringe at calling something like epic, or like, I don't know. I'm the worst at names. Like, I can brainstorm niches as like all day long, but when it comes to domains, I'm the worst. When it comes to like branding things, I am the worst. So niche site cage fight. The thumbnail for that would be so cool. Oh, goodness. Phil says he's interested in epic beards. I think we're talking about niche website builders. Cyrus says, should I stay away from dating, cannabis, and other mature controversial niches for my first blog? I would for my first blog, just because I think it's you just want to know what it is that you're getting into when you get started. But I think that people can make money in those niches. So if you just know what you're doing, I wouldn't say no. It just, when you're on your first blog, there's so much learning that you're doing. And so often people get into some of these niches and realize that the monetization strategy that they want to add to it, like ads, is not going to work because they have some content on their blog that makes it difficult, that the advertisers just aren't interested in it. Let's see. Sabina says she'll check out the podcast. I'm going to have to catch the replay. I'm doing homeschool evaluations in the sticks. That means out in the country. Well, I appreciate your willingness to just take some time to catch in with us. Catch in, catch up, check in. I think that's what I was trying to say, was catch in and check up. There is D. What's going on? No worries about being late. There's always a replay. And let's see. Niche site cage fight. Yeah, nobody else has any other ideas. I just feel like Clash of the Migas. Oh, this, I was planning on calling this MIGA site number 2. So that could be it just sounds so silly, like MIGA versus MIGA. I don't know. Chris, I'm gonna keep bugging you about what it is we're gonna name this thing, because otherwise, like I will be so useless in coming up with names. Oh, but the goal is that hopefully you'll be seeing content coming out about this in the near future. I mean, site number 2 for me is happening, and I think it's happening for Chris anyway. It's just, how silly will we go into the whole like battle thing? I think it just depends on how much fun it is and how interested people are in it. I think it will be fun. The USA versus Canada blog wars. Well, see, Chris is technically Australian, even though he lives in Canada. But there is sort of this thing like the USA versus Canada. I mean, I don't know how this will play out, but it should be fun. Chris was going to go with niche site battle. Yeah, I that's kind of what I've been going along with too, but I wondered if other people would have some ideas. Oh my goodness. Well, it would be cool. Like, I kind of like the niche site cage fight, because I just imagine the visual like thumbnail. I would try and encourage Chris to take some photos for that, because I feel like we could make a pretty cool thumbnail for that. Like, it would be fun. MIGA 2, bigger and better. The MIGA matchup, the Safari Gardener blog battle. Blog brawls. Ooh, that is good. That is good. I like that. D says, please go way far into the battle. Oh, Chris, that could be the theme song. You could have your own theme song and I could have mine, because we're going to create separate content with this. But he says they've got a great Canadian song called We've Got Stronger Beer about Canada versus USA. Oh, what we should each do is wear like their themed country gear. So Chris has got to have like the maple leaf on and like red and white with like, and I'll wear stars and stripes and things, and like actually so people will know that this is the epic battle update videos, so they won't think that they're in for like the usual boring update video where I sit here and be like, here is my traffic. You know, this is a friendly matchup, so there will be no trash talking and no negative SEO, like none of those things. It's supposed to be fun, but it would be fun to kind of like do it up. It would just be fun. Sue says that the niche site cage fight is still the best. The niche site cage fight is good. I'm liking Margaret's the best. And which one did Margaret say? The niche site cage fight. That is unexpected. I did not expect that one to, people are like really liking it. Yeah. Niche site cage fight. MIGA 2.0, keeping it simple. Delicious niches competition. Delicious niches. So does it sound better if you say delicious niches? The teacher versus the lawyer. And what's funny about that is neither of us are those things anymore. Former teacher versus former lawyer. Doesn't really like roll off the tongue all that well. Oh, Phil says he loves the stream, but his kid poured orange juice into the grandparents' air conditioning unit to see what it did. If there's no video, it didn't happen. That's all I have to say. Phil, is take a video. D says you need the Rocky theme tune and everything going. See, the thing is that trying to find music for it that won't get us like a copyright strike or have us like demonetized by YouTube. So like finding the right background music, that could be one of the challenges of this, is finding finding something when I don't pay for music ever. So I was in, where was I? I was in Old Navy the other day, and they had all their 4th of July clothing out. So looking at like the 4th of July or Independence Day is less than a month. So I could probably find some like USA gear to wear for this. So Chris, get ready for this. I'm showing up like, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've had some questions lately about Link Whisper and people who, because there's a lot of folks here on YouTube who are using Link Whisper and who are promoting Link Whisper, and Spencer Hawes's pretty well-known name around here. And folks who are especially in the beginning are like, do I have to buy Link Whisper? Is this something that I have to use for interlinking? And what I think is that for folks who are just getting started, who do not have a lot of posts, that if you use the free version of the Link Whisper plugin, a lot of what the functionality is that's available at that point, like it helps you identify orphan posts and how many links each one has, and then also specifically which post is linked to what. I think in the beginning that the free version is fine. I use it myself, and so when I say that, I say it with like, I use the free attributes of Link Whisper the most. I really haven't delved into the pro version. I have the pro version, but mostly, honestly, what I use is the free aspects of it, because I'm paying attention to linking things as I post articles, and that just helps me do that. So no, I don't think that for a beginner who has less than 50 posts that investing in Link Whisper is necessary. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using it, but the free version, I think you can do a lot with it until you actually need maybe some of those more premium functionality, like the abilities. Chris says, I need to figure out if I want to represent Australia or Canada. So if you represent Australia, I really would like it if you were like the caricature of an Aussie. Like that would be so hilarious and fun. And I'm pretty much already a caricature of an American. I drive a pickup truck and I live in the country, and I say things like y'all. Let's see. D says, why don't you give us all a task to do for the pair of you? Source music, theme tunes, thumbnails. Oh, interesting. Thumbnails. Well, I am not an artist. I would love it if somebody came up with a thumbnail for this. I would use it. I would 100% use like the best thumbnail. Seriously, it would tickle me so much. That means it would make me happy and it would entertain me so much. To come up with like a super epic thumbnail for this, and then I would use it on all of my videos, so that when people saw one of those videos, they would know it was the battle. And yeah. Stig says he was late, was busy buying everybody's sites. You know, you always lately, like, we're happy to see you, but I feel like you rolled in late last week too. So I'm just wondering what happens right around this time on your side of the world or wherever you are. And whose sites did you buy? Did you go and buy Anthony's site over on Flippa, or did you buy Fix's site over on Motion Invest? What did you buy? I want to know now. It didn't buy any of mine unless you bought it out from under me without me knowing. Anthony says, why not Ostranida? So you could make a like a really cool t-shirt that has like the maple leaf plus like something like everybody knows is like a kangaroo on it, like a kangaroo punching the maple leaf, like oh yeah, and yeah, Fix and Anthony and Alex. Yep, everybody's got a site. It's like unloading sites, which is awesome. Cyrus says, what does the winner get, or is there a punishment for the loser? And then Sue says, yes, good thinking. We need consequences. So Chris and I have talked about this a little bit, and we had some initial ideas, but the ones that have been thrown out so far, so we were kind of debating, and it's not set in stone, and I hope I'm not like breaking Chris's trust by no, you know what? I'm not gonna spill all the beans. How about this? There's content coming out soon about these things, about this discussion. And so I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to spill all the beans. Right? I don't want to just tell everybody everything, because then nobody will want to go and watch that content as they come out, because they will already know everything. But as far as punishments, then I want to hear what you guys think. What do you gentlemen and ladies think would be, I don't want to say motivation, but what would be entertaining as far as potential outcomes? Because again, remember, this is friendly. So we don't want to do anything that would hurt first of all, these assets, right? Because both of us at the end of this, the goal is to have a valuable asset, not just something that we throw away. So there will be no like URL reveal, and there will be no like, I mean, we're both going to put in a lot of effort into this. And so I would not want to hurt anything of Chris's. I can't imagine he would want to do that for me. Stig says, loser has to go to middle of town on a soapbox and proclaim the winner best blogger. See, here's the thing. I live in a town of 6,000 people. So the middle is basically like a street. So sure, that could be not that embarrassing for me, because nobody would know, and we just have a picture. Loser eats a ghost pepper. So I don't think that anything will cause physical harm, like permanent, like physical damage, should be on the table. Cyrus says, if Amelia loses, she needs to eat Vegemite on the stream. I have never eaten Vegemite. I have heard that it's not good, though. And I don't understand why people eat it. So I guess that's an option. And how are we deciding the winner? That's also something that Chris and I talk about. And we've started creating content for it. And so you'll just have to wait and see. In their underwear. Yeah, I'm not wearing my underwear. Sorry, nobody needs to see that. That is not punishment for me. That is punishment for everybody else. Like, I don't need to punish everybody else. Losers type in caps. Oh, it makes me feel taller. No underwear, naked. Again, that inflicts damage on other people. So no, definitely will not be going that direction. Winner's face on a onesie. All right. So then the question is are such things made? Like, I will definitely wear like Chris's face on a t-shirt. Like, I would happily come to these streams with like, if Chris beats me, which he probably will, like, Chris is the best. Like, I'm happy to use this billboard space to promote. Like, I'll put it over here. Like, Chris can have his Niche Safari logo over here, or I can cover this area with the Ostranida logos. Like, if we were to have one, like, I'm totally cool with that. I don't know. Folks on the replay, if you are listening to this and you have ideas, like, please put them in the comments, because it is not settled, is all I'm saying. He says, I've been safaried. I wonder if people might take that the wrong way. Maybe. Loser has to write 5,000 words for the winner's site. That assumes that Chris even wants that content created by me. I do not know. But one thing's for certain, I could create that in about an afternoon for Chris. So, I mean, Chris has been really quiet on this, so I don't know if he's still here, but you'll have to chime in on that, Chris, and tell me what you think about that. You lost already? No, I haven't lost. Nobody has lost already, but Chris is good at this. And so I'm going to give it like my best effort, but I would be okay losing to someone that I respect. Like, why not? Chris says he can always have more content. Yes. Well. All right, folks. It is not quite to the top of the hour, but I am through the list of stuff I wanted to talk about. I have quite a bit of stuff to get done because guess what? I decided that for the month of June that I would again try to create 50 articles. And so far I'm only in 10 articles. So I have 40 to go plus a small vacation. Keith says, should the community pick your niche? And I'm going to say no, because in the end, I want this to be something that is really valuable, that I can, in the end, like have something to really grow. So I have a niche kind of like genre in mind that I want to test out. And so I'm not going to let the community pick my niche, because I'll probably end up in something like underwater basket weaving or like weddings or something that I will have a hard time doing. Chris says, please, I've had a 50% fail rate on my starter sites in the past 12 months. You start sites, though, like fairly regularly. So, I mean, what can I say, Chris? Stig says, your blanket always reminds me of that candy with the color dots on the roll of paper. So would you be trying to eat this blanket? Is that what you're telling me then? Underwater basket weaving. Yeah, it's like that, or maybe cheese appreciation, like these topics that I don't know that much about. Says Chris says, or how like Carl had to do that helpful monk site because that's what everybody voted for. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I think Carl will make it work. But no. No, I have something that I really want to try out, mostly because I've been following John Smith. And John, if you catch this on the replay, you really influenced me lately. I just want to try and get like the best RPM possible. Because, once you have a site where all of a sudden you start to see a really nice RPM, then you like, want to do it more, do it better. Chris has already chosen his niche, and I have not settled on it because I need to spend like an uninterrupted weekend with Ahrefs, and I haven't had a chance to do that. And I try to be really strategic about when I invest in my $7 7-day trial of Ahrefs, so that I don't spend like the whole month looking for keywords. Will the sites be kept private? Yes. Are we going to do the same niche? I don't think so. Although there may be some aspects of it that overlap depending upon what it is that I end up doing. Are you working on the honor system? So explain how you mean as far as the honor system. Like, are we going to have to verify traffic and earnings and all the things? What do you mean, the honor system? Eric, we are still here. I usually try to get all the way to the top of the hour. So I just try to be here and be available for an hour, assuming that I have enough stuff to talk about and people are still interested. And so far, we've devolved into naming my niche site Cage Fight with Chris, putting the shout out for what sort of thumbnails we should have, and does anybody have the time and ability to design us something amazing? And then, what are the terms, of which I'm not going to spill all of them because I've got to like leave like some mystery. The same niche would be a true battle. That is true, but at the same time, it's not just for YouTube, right? And so I want Chris to have something valuable at the end of this, and I don't want to, um, take away from him from that, because otherwise, if one of us is going to do a ton of work for however long this takes and then end up with something that's not valuable, then I'm less interested in that, because I mean, maybe that would be like a worthy penalty, but dude, easy on the caps lock. We already know that Stigs, it makes him feel taller. So I just ignore it because it makes him feel good, and then it's all good. Sue says, what about the loser has to offer a week's membership to a viewer? Might encourage more viewers. A week's mentorship, I should say. If people actually wanted to be mentored by me, I think I would offer it now, but I have never had any sort of outcry for mentorship, and so I don't know how much of a carrot that would be. Or a site review. I'm always down to help people. If anybody wants to do a site review, I guess I'm not going to say that because I'm super busy right now, so I'm not going to offer that up. But if there was an outcry in the future, people wanting site reviews and such things, then I guess we would cross that bridge. He says, honor system, as in we take your word for it. I'm okay with that. Trust you both, and it's fun. Well, what would we do then as far as validating it? Like, would you want to see screenshots, or what, you want the URL so that you can go to Ahrefs and check? Do you not trust me now? Yes, you're going to take our word for it. And the thing is about sharing URLs is that when you put in so much work and time into something, um, it's just really hard to see somebody come by and copy it and take it, and it's just not very motivating. Like John Smith shared one of his sites and then has been struggling ever since, trying to keep that site on the ups, because people are doing all kinds of crazy stuff to it, and there's just not a lot of incentive to share sites. The niche site showdown. Yep, Eric, that's what we've been talking about. Chris and I are going to do a niche site battle, like a head-to-head, and we've just been brainstorming a name for it. And so far, people are fired up about niche site cage fight. Margaret came up with that idea, which is way more creative than either of us was able to come up with. But Cyrus said that he would make the thumbnail in exchange for some mentorship. All right, well, you email me a kick-ass thumbnail and I will spend an hour with you on Zoom and we'll talk through stuff. If you look at my main channel, there's my email in the about section. Email me. I'll set it up. I would be happy to talk with you about your project. I think it would be fun, and the thumbnail would be awesome too. Stick says that his keyboard is broken, waiting for a new caps button. The mail is really slow. Loser has to give away a site. Ooh, I've got a few age sites with 10x articles on them that are doing nothing that I can give away. I don't know if anybody would want what I have, but I do have probably 5 or 6 age sites that, like, I probably have a good one I could give away that makes, like, in Q4, it makes like $100 and some a month. And then in Q1, 2, and 3, it makes between $20 and $50 a month. Like, I could give that away. And most of the content is mine. It's a site that I bought. That could be a reasonable, if somebody wanted an age site, that is. I guess they would have to let me know if they wanted it. Revenge of the niche. Renat says, in most communities, people get a timeout or a ban for typing in caps. Yeah, I'm as long as people are being at least like mostly polite, I'm not bothered by that stuff. Show each other privately. I think I trust Chris. Like, I don't think Chris would manipulate. I mean, unless you think I shouldn't trust Chris. Like, does anybody think that I shouldn't trust Chris? Because prior to like people asking about it, like I was gonna trust him. Like, do you think I shouldn't trust him? Do you think that he would like try and game this to beat me? Because I don't. But if you see something about Chris that I don't, like, feel free to let me know if you think that I should be suspicious. Because I'm not suspicious, but I don't have any problems disclosing like behind the scenes. Like if Chris wanted to have user level access to analytics to confirm that what I'm saying is true, I suppose if like the prize or the carrot was something so very embarrassing and negative that somebody might make up the stats to avoid doing that, then maybe it would be worthwhile. D says I should charge a premium for mentorship. Yeah, it's one of those things where unless there's people who are interested in it, then I guess if you're hearing this and you are interested in paid mentorship, let me know, and then we'll go down that road if we ever get there. Keith said, "Wait, that came out wrong." You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just having fun, Keith. This is all in fun. I'm not worried about any of this stuff. Let's see. I want the mom blog. Well, you know what? The mom blog, it makes between $50 and $100 a month, and I bet somebody who had time and interest and attention could probably turn it into something. So that is not the blog I was thinking of, but I guess that would put the cap on my case study for that, because then I would no longer be owner of that. Devin says, how do I start? Well, it depends on what you're trying to start, friend. Like, what is it that you want to accomplish? Eric says, how do you choose the winner? I will say that Chris and I think we have decided what it is, but I'm just purposefully not telling you because I'm going to tease it for the content that Chris and I have already gone out of our way to create that will be coming out in the near future. So I mostly brought this up not to like spill all the beans, but to come up with a name. And Chris, you could tell me, we could talk later, but I want to know what you think about niche site cage fight. If you say like, will that be our name, or will we just stick with niche site battle? Because I'm cool with whatever, but I do think that's like catchy. It's catchy. Chris says, now is the time for you to tell me what you really think about me, guys. Yeah, let's just pretend Chris isn't here and then talk behind his back. What's the deadline for this? We're planning on launching here pretty soon. So my original goal had been to launch the new site in July, and so I'm still on that timeline. He says, I'm cool with you telling them about the content medium. Are you cool with telling them? Like, shall I like DM you directly? Like, I can tell them about the new project that we are getting ready to launch that I have told nobody else about. Like, I want everybody to be present and here for this in writing, because I'm just going to wait for Chris to like put that out there, because I don't want to talk about it live and then you can't like take that back. Stig says, careful trusting a backpacking trail mix eating blue jay fan. Oh, that's funny. The tease is real. It sure is. That's funny. All right. So Chris and I are starting a podcast together. It's a joint podcast, and we have slowly been creating content for it. It's one of the reasons. Yes, release the trailer. Chris made this really funny trailer. So I have a podcast, right? You know that I have a podcast that I've neglected a lot. And one of the reasons that I have neglected it is because I've been working on a new project with Chris, and it was Chris's idea. And so Chris is mostly taking the lead on it, and I'm there as the talent. Mostly I'm just showing up there and making the usual fool of myself. But we recorded a handful, 3 episodes, I think so far, two or three. And Chris took like our brainstorming session where we were trying to come up with the name for the project and cut it into a trailer, which is funny. Like, he's a better video editor than me. And it's funny. It made me laugh. And so I haven't said anything about it because, it's not like, I was working on it with somebody else. And so, yeah, I don't know if my podcast, I will continue to work on it, or if it will just be on hiatus for a while I explore this other project with a friend and colleague. I think that the content there can is going to be really fun. And also it's just kind of cool to create something with someone where you feel like they understand what it is that you're doing. And we're not in the same place exactly, but we're in like on similar paths and have really similar goals. And so I haven't wanted to talk about it because I didn't know, when it was that we were going to produce, like actually push this content out. And so I don't know, the trailer is about us trying to come up with a name. And what's funny about that is that I'm so terrible at coming up with names. And so you just get to watch, like, the trailer goes through some of that. And it's so funny live because I'm awful. Stig says he wants a live stream together each week. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get Chris on a live stream every week, but I will try every now and again to get him onto the stream to talk about the cage fight, our niche site cage fight. I do think that would be fun, but that has not yet been part of our agreed upon production of content for this. Will it be on YouTube as well? I think the plan is to also release the video version of the podcast. And I think it's going to be going on Chris's channel unless Chris decides to set up a separate YouTube for it. I have enough YouTube channels as it is for now, and I won't be cross-posting it, the actual podcast. We're planning on creating our own content on our own channels as far as updating the cage sites, but we're still also planning on trying to create some content together, and that'll probably just show up mostly in the podcast. And yeah, no, it's been really fun to like produce something new and different. And it's really interesting too, because I'm looking over at my computer, looking at the date. And in August, I was actually looking, like, August is the anniversary of me posting my very first video on YouTube. And it's just really neat to look at being here now and creating content with confidence and look at where I was 3 years ago and how terrible it was. Chris says it's going on a separate channel. All right. Well, there you go. We're going to have a separate video podcast channel, and I will definitely be sharing links for that all over the place because I think it will be fun and funny. Eric says, where do we place our bets? So that's the question. Anybody want to talk some trash in the comments about who they think will win this battle? And while you guys think about it, I want you to roll up there and smash the like button, please. There's only 8 likes and there's 16 folks in the chat. And I know, smash the like button. Where do we place our bets? See, the thing is that you'd put money on me and I would put money on you, Chris. I would absolutely put money on you because I have seen what you can do. And I already know, like, you already know what niche you're going to do. But writing it yourselves strictly, those details will, you will see them in the, like, cage niche site cage fight, like, initial run-up videos. So I've got to tease something, Stigs. I cannot give it all to you right now. And you know what? You will not offend me if you think that Chris is going to win, because I think Chris is going to win. And it will not be offensive. Anthony says it will be a tie. I hope one of us just destroys the other. And if it were me destroying Chris, I would be okay with that. But if Chris beats me, I will be okay with that too, because at the end of the day, at the end of this cage site fight, I will have a valuable asset. Will it be as valuable as Chris's? I do not know, but it will be something of value. And so losing won't hurt me at all. Oh, man. All right, folks, it is the top of the hour. It is 11 o'clock. I've had so much fun talking with you guys. I did not expect, honestly, to talk about the cage sites so much today, but I'm glad I did because I'm so excited about it and excited about the project. Now that you said that, you will lose. Sue says, I love you, Chris, but I got to go with my girl. Well, girl, that is my high five to you. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is going to be so fun. And in the future, after we launch this, if other people decide they want to jump in on a battle, let me know. I might be open to challengers. All right, everybody. I've got work to do, and I know so do you. I will be back not next week. Remember, next week I'm taking an off week. I'm going on a short vacation, so I will be offline. But the week after that, Adam from Niche Website Builders will be on the show, and I'm excited to have him. It sounds like so much fun. You got the smart pick. Stig says, is it a race to dollar amount or X amount of articles or what? Well, my friend, you are just going to have to wait and see, just like everybody else. Julie, thank you much for being the first one here and hanging out with us all the way to the end. Anthony, Adrian, Chris, Keith, Stiggs, Sue, all of you folks. Sabina, if you're still here, it was so much fun. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks with Adam on the show. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you more about our cage fight site battle thing. Take care.